We'll go back and reconvene the regular board meeting that we've adjourned twice. We have two items on that. One is the Island Shore SAD, and the other is a closed session item. Mr. Dury, do you have any comments before we?
No, except I thought the closed session items were both set aside.
No, just one.
Just one.
Just one?
Yeah.
Police negotiations?
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
We had a negotiation session scheduled, and due to an illness, we weren't able to have it, so we have no updates.
Okay.
But we do have one other closed session item. Is there action on the Island Shore? Let me get my computer going here. SAD. I will just comment on that many of the issues raised by Mrs. Lampkin were false. We do reconcile the accounts very clearly. We do seek bids. Those are all available to everyone anytime they want. I think several of you people have seen them. At the end of every fiscal year, all the SADs, and we've got over 20 of them now, I think, get reconciled to the penny. And any excess in any SAD is calculated into the next year's assessment and forwarded to the county treasurer for collection. Any shortages, for example, we've had 3 years ago, we had several SADs that were deficient because of a significant amount of snow, so they had to be adjusted to make sure that those costs were covered. If at any point in time an SAD fails to move forward after having been created, any funds in the account are refunded back to the members of the SAD. So I don't have anything else to add other than many of those representations were false. Mr. Drury, do you have anything?
Well, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. And I'll say it for the benefit of the people that are here today. I'll say it for the benefit of the listening and viewing audience. This township has the PA 188 process is a voluntary system. This township has probably more PA 188s out there than any other township that I am aware of, at least in Livingston County. This township is hired as a collection agent, and they collect the monies that are approved by the petitioners, who are the property owners themselves. And the petitioners, by inference at least, say to the township, okay, you guys go out and get the best bids you possibly can, which is what they do. And they have this in mind when they get the bids. So rather than getting criticized and slammed for doing all the good work they do, they should be getting praised, which they never, ever do. I'm the only one probably that ever praises it. A few of the private citizens do as well. But I will say they do a yeoman's job in collecting and administering these PA 188s to the extent, at least, way beyond the call of duty that they have. And they do this voluntarily. They do it at no cost. They barely cover their expenses. And being an attorney, I'm very cost conscious. And I will say that I've told Brittany Campbell, who is in charge of a lot of the SAD management, does a fantastic job. She does a good job of putting all the PA 180s together. The board does a good job. I give the board a round of applause from me to this board, and I'm not doing this because they're my employer, because we have our moments. But I will say that this board they go way beyond the call of duty and volunteering to administer these PA 188s, and they do a fantastic job. So the next time you guys go home, the next time you get up and say, well, I think I'm going to go down and criticize the board, think about what I've just said and think about the things that this board has done on behalf of the township. This board, when it took over, the township was not in economic straits, but they were not economically sound, as nearly as sound as they are right now. Pat alluded to the fact that we were double B bond rated. We're now double A, and that is through the hard work of this board and all the professionals, not including me, by the way, all the professionals this board has hired over the years. They're doing a fantastic job. They should get kudos. They should not get criticism.
If this road was in,
What?
if this road was in decent shape, I would not want to touch this SAD for various reasons. This road's not this road is in horrible shape. It's a health and safety problem for those residents on that street. We heard about the ambulance unable to treat a patient until they got him off the road, for goodness sakes. So it is in such bad shape that I am going to support.
Yeah, I sit back and I listen to, and everybody asks me after the meeting, how come you didn't say something in response to some of the comments that were made here today? Well, because to engage that kind of personality, you're asking for an 8-hour meeting as opposed to a 3-hour meeting, and it just goes on and on and on. And I've learned over the years how to keep my mouth shut, and that's hard for an attorney to do. So, and when people sit back and wonder, gee whiz, how come the board members didn't say something like Pat did tonight? He just did in board comments. A lot of what was said here today was not true. A lot of it was hyperbole on behalf of the person that was speaking, the main spokesperson.
Well,
And a lot of what she said was just her view of life, and it's not accurate.
This is what I said. What she was saying is her. I talked to her. She called me on the phone. I talked to her on the phone. Called her back. We were supposed to hear from a lawyer. This isn't from an attorney. This is hers.
And they're her conclusions, and
We,
90% of her conclusions are not accurate.
we need to move on.
Court order doesn't say anything about an SAD.
Court order says nothing about nothing. It
Yeah.
says something about their applications at the Supreme Court level, and I didn't even want to get into that, but I will now that you've raised it. That court order talks about the applications that are pending in front of the Supreme Court, nothing more, nothing less. Nothing about what this township is going to do and what this township's duties are statutorily and otherwise.
In conclusion, we have 2 bids. Brittany sent these out, I think, to 14 people, and we finally got 2 bids. Actually had to contact both of them. There were phone calls reported to me and threats of lawsuits and stuff, but we finally got 2 people to bid. The low bid for this was Myers Excavating at $10,715 per year. The only other bid we were able to get was GP Dust Control at $18,363. All that information is available. Anytime anybody wants an accounting of the district, it's all available for you. It's been there all along.
And these are competitive bids, Pat.
Yeah, these are open bids. What's the board's preference?
Well, let's just move ahead and get on with it.
Okay, I will move the resolution to adopt. This is resolution number 3, Island Shore Drive, Schlenker Road, Special Assessment District Resolution number 3. Confirming the special assessment role for Island Shore Drive, Schlenker Road Maintenance Special Assessment District, as provided in the packet. Is there support?
I support.
Supported by Hahn, resolved by Whole. Any discussion? Roll call of the board, please, Michael.
Trustee Hahn.
Yes.
Supervisor Hall.
Yes.
Trustee Keebly.
Yes.
Trustee Menzies.
Yes.
Treasurer Negri is absent. Trustee Nielsen.
Yes.
Clerk Dolan, yes.
Okay, so the resolution passes unanimously. Now we need to award the bid. Once again, this is a 10-year SAD. John got a little too eloquent, but we do SADs. Most townships won't, but when we do them for 10 years. But I assure you, we rebid them every 2 years so that we can keep you the very best price. And we come back, you get a notice that we've rebid, you get to see the bids. So the current, whatever the board does here today in terms of awarding this bid will be from June the 6th of 17, excuse me, I think June the 20th of 17 to June the 19th of 19. No, June the 6th of 17 to June the 7th of 2019. And then we will rebid this out again. As I indicated, we were able to get 2 bids. They're included in the packet. GP Dust Control does their own dust control service, and that's outlined in the bid here.
So I'll make a motion to award Myers Excavating a 2-year maintenance contract for Island Shore Schlenkler SAD beginning June 6th, 2017 through June 7th, 2019, and separate dust control rate.
Yeah.
What is it, the initials on it?
Well, GP in his bid had the dust control. We will not use that if we take Myers, so that will be all taken care of.
That's the end of my motion.
Okay, there's our support.
Support.
Supported by Menzies. Moved by Dolan to award the bid, two-year bid for this to Bob Myers Excavating. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. We have one more item on our agenda. That's a closed session item. Well, but they did miss the deadline, too. I'm just trying to be
I
straightforward.
just don't want to, my reaction is, let's not do anything that's going to disrupt getting on with the program.
Well, that's true. I mean, is it,
So
how much
if
of a
this
disruption is
If
it?
this is going to be
Well,
any
it
risk
could
at
start
all,
something all over again.
just,
Okay, so,
just,
For opening Pandora's
and,
box.
yeah, and I
think you're right.
apologize
Yeah.
to the homeowner that made the request, but
okay,
I just don't want to, I don't think we should jeopardize anything here.
okay, that's done.